Hey everyone, this is That's Toys and Things, and this is the Kaiweets Smart Clamp Meter. Okay, this is the model KC602. Says here it's professional, precision, safe, and durable. Before we continue, this is not going to be a technical review. I'm not an electrician by any means, but I do know my way around electrical, sort of. I've learned my way through it, and I got a bunch of testers that I use. And this is just to answer the question for a regular consumer, is this necessary? Are you able to replace all the other testers that you have at home with this single tool? I'm going to start off with the multimeter. This is a very old multimeter that I have. It's very manual. You can see, and this is broken now. I think it's the fuse, but we can test that later. I also have this Klein tools. This is one of the tools that I use all the time. Non-contact voltage tester. Very, very handy. And of course, I have this 110 to 120 voltage tester. And for regular use, for battery, I have this battery tester. I also have this um, Mastercraft thermometer. So all of this thing can do. At least that's what it says. So we're going to go through that. This thing comes with a manual, rather thick manual, but the English portion, there's not a lot. I don't even see a place here where it says anything about error codes, if it has an error code. However, you have a parameter list in here. As you can see, it tells you about the accuracy. So they're honest with that. I have no way of testing that, so I'm gonna go with the specification that they provided. And as you can see, this is very thick, but the English is only up to here. The rest are different languages. Out of the box, aside from the manual, you have this carrying case. Uh, it's really good. I wish it's a little bit bigger because now it's a little bit bulky now that I have the meter inside, but it does the job. There's the meter itself, clamp meter. It comes with a lead test probe. These are the lead tests. And of course, it comes with this K-type thermocouple. This is for measuring temperature. We're going to test that later. Looking at this probe, the test leads, the usual, they have a cap here to protect those ends. And the other one here as well. And this one, it's got a cap here too. So that's good. I mean, you don't really need this long all the time. So this is really good. Okay, let's take a closer look at this tool. You have the NCV, non-contact voltage probe. This is a current sensing jaw. You got the unlock here, the jaw release, and on the side, you can, I think you can store the test leads in here. It's a little bit tight, but you can store at least one of the probe in here. And then you got the power on and off button. Here, you got an LED light that they call a flashlight. On the side, you get the button to turn on the flashlight and a hold button. And you got the auto function, max min, select, inrush, and you got the screen here. Of course, this is where you put in your test leads. Okay. If we turn it on, hold it, turn it on. Now, it does a calibration automatically. Once done, you hear the 3 beeps. And as you can see here, it's cycling through all those four: the current, voltage, ohms, and continuity. Okay, so it's continually cycling. And this one right here, if you see this, this is an automatic off. So it says in the manual that this turns off automatically if unused for 15 minutes. You can disable that, and how you do it is by, let's say, to turn it off, press the auto function first before you turn it on, and there you go, it disappeared. Now it doesn't turn off automatically. We're gonna start off with the this probe here, right here. Let's see if this thing is working. Okay, I got here my Blue 80. There you go. Let's turn this thing on. What can I use? What can I use? Okay, here. So use this, turn it on, turn the AC on. There you go. Okay, so how you do it is you have two options here, but that can't be done using automatic mode because the auto mode is only up to this 4 pin right here. So what you want to do is you want to change the selection. Okay, this is now non-contact voltage. So let's see. Okay, so it's picking up low voltage, and that's a high voltage that's it's picking up on the probe. Now the other thing that you can select is the live. When you do that, you will need one of the probes. So let me grab this probe right here. You're gonna need this, and you'll have to use it. You'll see that to check. With that thing, I'm gonna take this one off, and there you go. That's a high voltage. There you go. There you go. And here, high voltage. So this is more accurate. So I guess the first question is this probe right here gonna replace this? I don't know yet. I kind of like this one. So, oh, come on. Oh, there you go. So this one is a little bit sensitive, but I'm kind of used to this. There you go. And I'm thinking if I'm working on a box like this, you'll have, imagine if you have a lot of wires inside, this is easier to point, easier to isolate a wire. This one, it's doable, but as you can see, it's a little bit harder, but it does the job. So if I don't have this, then I guess I can use this. So that's one of the tools. Now, the other tool is this one. So I got the voltage tester for 110 to 120. You know, when you do this, always use a single hand. Okay, see that? So that's indicating that I got a 110 to 120. Now, the advantage of using this one, though, So we got to make sure that it's in there. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna now switch to the auto mode. So with the auto mode, I don't have to select it manually, and I can just go in like this, and now I got the exact voltage, which is 121.4. So while this thing does the job, I do get an actual reading from this one. So this one wins over this. Oh, now, while this thing is still in auto mode, without changing anything, I would go and check my battery if and when this thing stays standing. So I got this battery. Normally I would use this, but with this thing, let's see. There you go. Okay. So as you can see, I don't need to adjust anything on the meter, and I go quickly from testing the AC to testing a DC. Same thing here. I could just quickly do this, and there you go. So that's a convenience that I would like, and I would prefer, not changing everything. Here, of course, when you have this manual, you got to switch between AC to DC to get the same result. And and an LCD is always nice. Okay, earlier we said this might be broken, so I gotta test this thing right here. If you can see it, I'm gonna lean it a bit. Okay, so but first I'm gonna see if the continuity is working. Okay, so that's good. And now going here, I got nothing. So this thing is busted. You just see this thing right here, and if you can see it. Oh yeah, this thing is busted. Now the other thing that you can use this for, and household nowadays don't have a lot of this, is an incandescent bulb. Now you can check the resistance on this thing. I don't know if that was the right term, but I know if I get uh, 52, that's good. So anything above 50 is gonna tell me that this is still good. Of course, I could just do this and then listen to it, or if I can just see if the filament is broken. But what if it's frosted, so you can't see, and you wanted to test it? Rather than going to the ceiling, putting it on the test, you can either have this or just test it with a meter. Now this thing is telling me that this bulb is working with this, and now I am gonna see if it is actually working. There you go. So among other things that you can do with the meter, and why I keep this at home. Now we're gonna test this thermocouple. Black goes here, and then the red goes here. Okay. This is a warm water. Okay. Now you're hearing that noise because the setting is on the auto, so we'll have to change that into temperature. And there you go. And this is cold. I got some ice in here. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna drop the probe first into the warm water. Okay, so I'm getting 38.7 degrees Celsius right there. Let me see. Yeah, right about that. And here on the cold one, switching to the cold. Let's see. You can see it readily drops to 3. Okay, so I'm sure if you keep it here, it's going to drop some more. Now, if you want to get that reading, hold that data, all you have to do is press the one on the side. And there you go. So same thing with all the other measurement. If you want to hold that data, all you have to do is press the thing on the side. So let's take that off. Of course, there's a flashlight in here. So if I hold and press this, there you go. I don't know if that's going to be much help, but I guess so. Better than nothing, right? Okay. I'm going to do one last test before I put I tell my verdict on this meter, which I am starting to like right now. All the other stuff right here, I'm not really going to use this, the diode, things like that, the millivolt. I don't have much use for it. These four are the important thing to me. I got the current, the voltage, the resistance, and the continuity. So let me do another test, and then we'll give the verdict. Okay, so this is my sump pump backup. I have another review on this setup. I'll put it in the description if you're interested. But right now we're talking about the meter. So again, it's in auto. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go from, let's see, here. See if I can get that in there. This thing's a little bit tight. 122.6. So from AC, I'm gonna switch without touching anything. This is still in auto. I'm gonna cut up the grid, and I'm gonna test the voltage on the battery. Again, without changing anything on the meter. If there's anything that I dislike about these meters is this cable right here. Other than that, I'm okay. So let's see that. And 13.25. So this is a smart meter. I can go from AC to DC without changing anything. Now if I'm going to use this, what I wanted to know is what's the idle current from this. Now let's test it initially using auto, if it can give me an accurate reading on the idle current. So let's try that. Okay, I'm reading 2.5, so let's hold that. 2.77. Now according to the manufacturer, this thing is about 0.5 to 1. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to switch off from auto to the actual current measurement. I'm going to hold that. Okay, so now it's in manual, it's in the current, and I'm going to measure it once more. Let's see. Okay. Okay, now I'm getting about 0.92, which is well within the specification of the inverter. So as you can see, I tested the AC, I tested the battery, I tested the current without using any other tool, without changing any tool. So that's something that you would really like, or I really like in this particular tool. Okay, now that's gonna start right there. As you can see, there's a mirror, and let's see how this thing change, because that's gonna kick up. I have it on hold. There you go. Now the current is kicking right there. Okay, there you go. So final verdict, and this is from the point of view of someone who does do it yourself, hobbyist, and not from, as I mentioned in the start, I'm not an electrician. I don't, I'm not going to use it for work. this is mostly going to be for my house, doing some silly things like, you know, testing battery, checking temperature, checking for continuity, if you have any problem with fuses and things like that, checking for live voltage. This thing right here, I I would say is an excellent tool. I really love this auto auto sensing. By the way, if you get stuck somewhere here, if you want to go back to auto, all you have to do is press it long, and then there you go. I really like the smart function. Going from AC to DC, testing it, to continuity without any issue, to resistance without fiddling to some, you know, fiddling to some of these dials right here, because you got to know, especially if you're starting, you got to know which one are you going to dial into. This is really an excellent tool. And definitely it's going to replace my multimeter right here. So I'm going to toss this thing out. I'm going to keep this, but I'm going to be using this more. Definitely this is going to replace this voltage tester, because this gives me an more accurate reading. Uh, on this one, I'm on the fence. I really, really like this, especially if you're working in boxes like this, any tight spot. But this one has its place. I mean, I could use the live probe, as I shown you earlier. If you go back a few minutes, you're gonna see how I use this to test for live voltage. If you're not comfortable touching the actual live wire, yeah, you wouldn't like this. But I've done that before. I've done that a lot of times, so I'm not really I don't have that hesitation, because for the most part, I'm aware of the safety involved here. Even if you're seeing this thing like this, I made sure that this is really tight. So that's just for demonstration purposes anyway. So three tools gone. I might be keeping this. This one will always have a place in my toolbox, because the distance by which you can measure things is this one. I don't think this one can replace. And I don't really know what would be the use case for me, at least for my house or for home use. I don't really know what's the use case of this thermocouple. I mean, I want to know if my coffee is hot enough so I don't get burned, or whatever I'm cooking. I don't know. But to me, it doesn't have much use. This would have more use to me. I mean, if I wanted to know if the air coming out of my vents are hot enough or cold enough, I would rather use this. But maybe I'll try and use this to see how accurate it is. And there you have it. And once again, thank you for watching. And please don't forget to click that like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you know when a new video is out. Oh, before I say I will see you in the next one, I almost forgot. This thing uses 3 AAA batteries. I already have this. And this is another thing that I kind of wish they did differently, because as soon as you unscrew this thing is not gonna fall. It's not, it's not held into this cover by any means. So you got to be careful when you take this out. It's a small screw. If you take it off, it's gonna fall and it's hard to find. Other than that, I will see you on my next one. Bye.